Gentlemen and ladies, I'm the crypto game snob on this channel, old school game snob on a different channel. Hey, okay, so we talked about the nerfs. Let's take a look at the buffs, because there's some buffs too. Not as many buffs as there are nerfs, but there are some buffs. Crystal Watcher has had its mana cost reduced from 4 mana to 3 mana. Probably a good buff. This creature was, whenever I played it, this creature was cleared pretty quick. And by the time you're at 4 mana, yeah, it just basically, I'd drop it down and it was gone before it could even, unlock 1 mana. And when you're dropping it down at 4 mana, it better do something, right? Like that's a fairly board swinging time of the game. It better give you some value, or else you're in big trouble. So yeah, probably a good buff for Crystal Watcher. Will it make it very, very strong now? Maybe. I can see the price has already gone up on it from 15 cents a card to 59 cents a card. So yeah, this one is one I'd want to play. It was one I thought would be good when I was making my Magic decks, and I just never could get it to be useful because it was always cleared or whatever. Pretty much always. Will it maybe be viable now? Maybe even be really good? Yeah, possibly. Could be really good. Have to experiment with that a little bit. Here's an interesting one. Now, I have sort of been watching this one for a while, thinking this is the worst card in the game. Certainly one of the worst cards in the game. I bet you they're going to buff this, and sure enough, it looks like they're buffing this to maybe what will now be an extremely kick-ass card. Phalanx Lieutenant, stats increased from 4-1 to 5-3, and it also has that 2 points of armor, and it only costs 5 points of mana, so this is going to be a 5-3 with 2 points of armor. So if that comes through, you can see this is already price jumped from where it was to at like 4 cents. Like I say, worst card in the game, one of the worst cards in the game. I should have loaded up on a bunch more of these at 4 cents to 39 cents. That's a nice 10x. Anyway, still obviously very cheap, tons of them available, so it's not like this card is going to, go up to $1,000 or anything like that, but, that's still a 10x increase. Phalanx Lieutenant, yeah, very interesting. 4-1 to 5-3 with 2 armor at 5 mana. That could be very, very hot. The Inspiring Scald. Now, I'm not too familiar with this one. Text change from Roar. If you're frenzied, give Twin Strike to your weakest creature in your hand. So this is what we've got at the moment. If you're frenzied, give Twin Strike to the weakest creature in your hand, which is kind of cool. It's already 2-3, which is decent stats. Compared to 2-4, which is scale heavy, right? 2, if you're frenzied, give Twin Strike to the strongest creature in your hand. Well, that's probably who I'd want to have the Twin Strike, is that strongest creature. And as you can see, as usual, the buffs get announced. And apparently I was sleeping on the job here. What are we, the 20th today? Yeah, well, I guess this was just announced 9 hours ago, right? So, yep, the card prices have rocketed up. Caged Berserker changed from 5 to 4 mana. Now, I rarely see this one played, but it's an interesting one. At the end of your turn, if you are frenzied while this card is in your hand, give it +2/+2. So basically, as long as you have this in your hand, and as long as you're frenzying every turn, which War tends to do, this gets a +2/+2 for a potentially big old Caged Berserker by the time he breaks free. And as you would expect, this card has rocketed up in price as well. Okay, what else have we got here? Counterfeit. Now here's another one that I wasn't too familiar with. Counterfeit, 2 mana. This is a deception card, and if your opponent has a relic equipped and you don't, equip a copy of your opponent's relic, otherwise draw a card. Interesting, out of the gate, that's interesting. So what will it be now? It will be, if your opponent has a relic equipped and you don't, destroy it and equip a copy of it? Are you kidding me? That's absurd. That is so absurd. No, that can't be allowed. That's well, there's really no wonder this card is buffed. Jumped from 50 cents up to $4. I guess I should have bought a few more of those. No, that can't be allowed. That's Deception already has so much cheesy, tedious stuff to play against. That can't be. You can't do that. I mean, that was already good. For 2 mana, you get to copy your opponent's relic. That could potentially be a very powerful, later game relic. Come on, no, that's way too powerful. Covetous Cutthroat. Now this is also one that I thought was very interesting, which also got a buff. I never see it played, but I feel like it had the potential to be very interesting. At the end of your turn, give XX to this creature, where X is the durability of your opponent's relic. So you drop this down and say your opponent has a 2 durability relic or a 3 durability relic. At the end of each turn, this will get a buff of plus XX strength and health based on your opponent's relic. So I mean, you drop this down. If your opponent even has like a 2 health relic, right? You can, which most of them do, but you don't usually get 1 health relic sometimes. But so this becomes a 5/5 at 4 mana, which is better than a 4/5 ogre, which is basically a no text card. But this happens every turn potentially, that your opponent has a relic, right? This has been buffed to 4/4, from 3/3 to 4/4. I guess we didn't see this get a lot of play, even though it had some interesting potential, to be powerful just as it was already. We're going to see this become more powerful to 4/4. So now, worst case scenario, you're one off from a Wetlands Ogre, right? Which is a no stat card, 4/5 at 4 mana. So 4/4 is really not too bad. With a severe potential upside, this could become an extremely good card that you maybe see played a lot. That's my humble opinion. Covetous Cutthroat, and last but not least, we had the Anubian Redeemer. Stats increased from 4/5 to 4/6. Now, what was this card again? A 5 mana 4/5. Once per turn, give 1/1 to this creature when one of your creature dies, to a 5 mana 4/6, making it a little bit more viable at that 5 mana cost. Right, 6 health is pretty decent at 5 mana. Actually, it's pretty damn good at 5 mana. I was thinking this was 6. 6 health is pretty good at 6 mana, but 6 health is pretty good at 5 mana. Once per turn, give 1/1 to this creature when one of your creature dies. And this is a light card, so I mean you couldn't throw this into your zombie deck or anything like that and get a ton of buffing on it. But interesting, 4/5 to 4/6. I mean, it's a tiny little buff. That price has not been massively affected or anything like that on this one at the moment, because it's not really much of a buff, but it's a little buff. It's a little buff. Okay, hey, that's this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it.